Okay, this is my second review on this channel. Adam basically asked me to review a band I'd heard of, but I've never really listened to any of their music before. They're a LA band from who formed in 2002. They're supposedly alternative, and they're called SilverSun Pickups. Now Adam asked me to review their second album, Swoon. I listened to it last night, and I've made some general points. Obviously, don't take this as sort of, what it's definitely about, but, because I've only listened to it once, I thought I'd just give my real general impression of what it was like. Okay, so here we go. So, I'm going to do it in track order. So it starts with There's No Secret This Year. It's a nice riff to start with, but then, when the singer's voice comes in, just from what I can tell, it's a bit whiny. It's quite feminine, I thought, really feminine voice, and I didn't really like that, so that was a real bad point for me. But there was some nice stuff there, but it was just overly long. I think it went on for over 5 minutes, and you got the general point quite quickly, so I thought that was a bit annoying. Second song, The Royal We, I thought that was nice. I thought there was some nice violin. There was a nice atmosphere created, but again, that voice really got to me. There's something about it that's quite irritating. I don't know. Growing Old is Getting Old. Now, this is probably my favourite song off the album. It had some nice subtle guitars, to create a nice rich atmosphere. There was a nice bass added in as well that sort of, it combined well, and there were dual vocals, again, they didn't really do much for me. The vocals on this whole album I've got a problem with. I think I've just got a problem with sort of that whiny American voice. I prefer the sort of rugged American, sort of Nirvana-like voice, like Kurt Cobain sort of thing. But again, yeah, this was probably my favourite song on the album. There's slight Caribou elements to some of it. I mean, obviously not as good, but it was alright to see. Then there was It's Nice to Know You Work Alone. Not one of my favourites. The guitar sound was quite artificial, quite pop, sort of pop punk, which is a contradiction in itself. I didn't really like that song much. Panic Switch, I did like that song quite a lot. It was a nice distorted guitar to wash out the poppy sound of the last song. There's some nice sweeping riffs that combined well, and they give a good foundation to the rest of the song. There's some funky elements to that song, which is probably, it's the only song on the album that does it. And there was a sense of climax, but it was never quite really, in the end the song ended in an anticlimax, so, and again, too long, that's one of the main recurring problems with this album. Then there was Draining. It has a nice calming interlude to the album, halfway, and it was a bit more subtle than some of the other songs. It was a lot more reverby guitars in the background. The song is quite, it's quite neat, and it's nicely completed, and it's consistent throughout. There's nothing faultable really about it. It was quite nice and complete. Then Sort Of, that's the next song. It's quite linear, nothing really memorable about it, again, a bit too pop punky. Sort of, I don't know, something along those lines. I can't really define the genre, but it's something about the voices that annoy me. Yeah. Then this Substitution. Started off well, had a nice sort of Bombay Bicycle Club sort of guitar sound, but then again, it just, it went wrong for me somewhere along the lines, just too cliched again. Then there's Catch and Release. I like this song actually. It was good. It was straightforward, but there's a nice combination of instruments, something more subtle, and it was not, the voice was far more manageable for me. I didn't really find myself wincing because of the cliched aspect of it. Then there's Surrounded. I think it wasn't really a good end to the album, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. I mean, maybe you can, I don't really come from that sort of musical background, so I don't think I appreciated it as some people might. But overall, I'd say it was a good album. I think I definitely preferred the slower ambient songs on the album, but it was very similar, some of the sounds. So in the end, it's got a bit, you know, you knew it was coming around the corner. But yeah, some really nice songs. I think for a second album, it's quite good. But considering they've had 7 years since they formed for that second album, I don't know. It's a bit too American for me, but not American, you know, a bit too American mainstream, too pop punk. But yeah, it was a nice album overall though. Okay, I'd give it a 6. Right, look out for more album reviews from us. Our next video should be regarding the Mercury Prize winner, so we'll give you our take on that. So that's us for today. Here's my amazing microphone here, just to improve the sound quality slightly. Okay, right, bye. Oh, and thank you to Macasaur for featuring us. Right, bye.